So I've been getting this question quite a bit on my stream recently, and it's Leo. What mods do you use? What resource packs do you use? What's your shaders, etc.? And we're finally finding the time to now make the video. And you must be wondering, why have I been holding off on making this for so long? And it's because I didn't. I have a lot of mods, guys. I just took the list today, and we have a total of 56 mods installed. I'm currently using the Prism launcher, which was actually recommended by Darcy, and before this, I was using the vanilla launcher. And what made me finally solidify my swap over to Prism was because Prism allows you to, one, you can multi-instance with different accounts for Java. So I'm currently using two different accounts right now to pretty much alt whenever I am able to. And the second one was the biggest selling point, which is we were allowed to install mod packs. So mod packs are kind of the specific mod file where you pretty much just import it rather than installing every individual mod pack. And what's really cool about this one, the one that I'm using is called Performium, is it's just pretty much this big list of a bunch of optimization mods that allow my game to run super efficiently. Just one thing to note, I'm not going to be going through every single mod for Performium, but I will be going over the mods that I personally installed myself and added onto the game. And then what we'll do is we'll post a link to Performium into the description if you guys want to install for yourself if you're using Prism. But if you're not using Prism, then unfortunately you will have to install every single mod on its own. Now, I would highly suggest that you just, if you don't want to look through every single mod, I think there's a benefit to it. You can kind of feel a bit more control on what mods you want to install and which ones you don't. But what's really cool about Prism is that you're also able to just disable the mods if you don't really want it, right? You can just remove it if you'd like. And on top of that, if you ever swap computers or you have to reset your computer, it's as easy as downloading a mod pack just to import everything all again. So that's my selling points for Prism Launcher. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just highly believe that it is super useful. Now you might be hearing some dings in the background throughout this video. I apologize about that. It is the LeooKnightus AIO application that we made with ChatGPT to inform us when we get a sale, and as well as logging it. So if you guys are curious about that, there's a lot of cool nifty features, including a Gorb timer. Make sure to check that out. We have a whole video about it. But moving forward, let's get right into it. So what mods did I install myself with the Performium mod pack? And the first one's going to be Bedrock Inventory Animations. This one, what it does is, I believe this is the one where if you're holding a specific item, if there's anything that's exactly the same in your inventory, it'll start doing a little dance. As you can see on the screen there, it's doing a little dancey dance. So this one's really cool. It's not really for everybody, so if it's not something that really appeals to you, then you don't really need this. It's not really a performance mod or a benefit. It's just a cosmetic mod. I totally forgot, but I'm going to leave a list of my PC specs in the description as well, so you guys know, or there's a reference point, I guess, with all these mods and how my client or my game is able to handle it. I'm running at like constant 200 frames. If you take a look here, I'll be at 200 frames. But if I do tab out of my game, one of the mods, I forgot exactly which one from the Performium pack does it, but I set it so whenever I'm tabbed out, it doesn't eat up all my resources, and it actually lowers the frames down to 60 frames per second. That one is a part of the Performium mod pack. Moving forward from that, the next one that we have on the list is going to be command keys. This one was also introduced by Darcy. This one is huge, and you guys may have noticed that I can pretty much run commands that you would traditionally have to type, like for example back, by just pressing a button. I don't have to type anything. And how do I do that? Well, the mod command keys pretty much allows you to set any hotkey to any command. So you can take a look at my list right here. I have fly on delete, I have home set, of course I have back over here, etc. And what's even better about this is you don't need to use your entire keyboard. You can set key combinations. So you can see for these two over, or actually better example over here, left control plus W would equal to wild TP. So I'm able to resource world teleport by doing control W. This allows you to pretty much save a lot of your keyboard keys and whatnot, and kind of compact it down to a key combination instead. So let's say you have W set as, you know, walking forward. You can do control W to pretty much utilize that key still. This is super useful. Very this is probably one of the best mods that I have on my list currently, in my opinion. But yeah, with that, I think that's pretty straightforward. Let's move forward to our next mod, which we have. Where is it? It's going to be Inventory HUD, which is probably one of the ones that I get asked about the most, because you actually see it right when I'm streaming BlossomCraft. What Inventory HUD does is, this one's pretty self-explanatory. You can see your inventory without having to open up your inventory itself. And not only that, but if you open up the mod or the UI with the letter or the key O, you can actually toggle your armor HUD options, so you can actually see your armor durability, which isn't really that useful, I guess, for BlossomCraft if you're using Blossom items. But I guess for like newer players, this might be helpful, I guess. Let's turn that off, and you can also turn on potion effects, which also is kind of useless if you are using Blossom items, because I mean, well, your effects are pretty much permanent, right? So I usually leave those as off. And the last one is you can change the position of it. I'm not going to tamper with it because I think it's perfect the way it is right now. But yeah, you can tamper around with it a lot. And lastly, I have mini mode on. So if mini mode is off, you can see it's a bit more intrusive on your screen. The HUD is definitely much bigger. So I like to turn on mini mode as true so I can see more of my screen. So that summarizes Inventory HUD. Let's see what we have next on the list. And I know we're going through this pretty quickly. Next is going to be NMC, which is called No Mining Cooldown. This is a bit circumstantial. Initially we were using this to use the Luminar helmet plus the Hades combination, because before that, if you didn't have the mod, it didn't allow you to insta-mine. Now this one is super specific. It's only if you're really using Luminar helmet plus a tunneling pickaxe that has only efficiency 5, then it will allow you to start insta mining. But yeah, I with the new Sunbloom pick being out and all, I don't see this mod really being utilized. But I just want to throw it out there because I still have it installed, and I currently have mine just toggled as off. So I disabled it. I don't really use it because I think it's actually a bit intrusive with my current playstyle. Let's do a little Gorb tap. All right, sorry. All right, what do we have next here? Sharrow's minimap mod. So where's that? Right here. It's the last one, but we have another one after this. Sharrow's minimap mod. This one's pretty straightforward as well. You can see in the top left corner there, we have a minimap. Now, I would like to actually take a look here at the settings. I'll use the key Y, the Y key, to open up the settings of it. Of course, you can toggle the minimap on and off. The main thing is you want to actually turn off cave mode depth to 0. It actually is against the rules in BlossomCraft to have this setting on. So I would like to warn you guys before using Sharrow's minimap mod that you can get in trouble if you are using the cave mode depth mode. Yeah. It is against the rules. They implemented this, I think, like a year and a half ago or so. So it's been quite a while. And you might be wondering, okay, if you can't have cave depth mode depth on, then what do you use it for? I mainly use it for the coordinates. I like seeing the coordinates in the top left. And not only that, but when I go back to my base, like, you can actually see if you're in like certain areas, you can actually see the map itself. Then it actually starts loading. So if you're kind of in the overworld, then you can kind of see it. So it's a bit particular. I mainly use it now for like just seeing the coordinates on the screen. And I know there's other mods, but I like having the map, and I've grown really used to it. All right, and moving forward to our last mod that we installed ourselves, it is going to be tiny item animations, which is right here. Now, what does tiny item animations do? Well, this one's also a bit more niche, a bit more cosmetic. So if you don't really like it, then you don't really need it. It's just when you hover over, or if you're holding an item and that is a special one. So for example, this infinity pickaxe, it gives this sparkly effect, and I really find it super aesthetic. It scales off of what color the item is, and I think it is so beautiful. It does add a little bit of a flair, especially while I'm streaming. I think it makes the game just look so, it just pops. It just pops and it looks a little bit more unique for the game. So that pretty much concludes the mod list. Let me know if you have any questions regarding that. Everything else was installed by Performium. So let me know if you are interested in anything in particular in the comments down below. But now we can move forward to the next thing, which is going to be resource packs. What resource packs do I use? Let's take a look here. First one is going to be new glowing ores. So also keep in mind, some of these resource packs I did not install myself. This was also provided by the Performium mod pack. So I'll let you know which ones are the ones that I installed myself. So first one's gonna be new glowing ores. This is pretty straightforward as well. This one's one that I get probably asked about a lot. It pretty much just makes ores more visible. They make it glow, they give this border, and it doesn't look like your traditional vanilla ore. This helps me when I'm mining at like pretty fast speeds to be able to, you know, make sure that I'm not missing a single ore. You know, it would stand out quite nicely. So that is the first one, new glowing ores for 1.21.1. Next one's gonna be default dark mode. This one's added by the Performium mod pack. Next one is gonna be visible ancient debris. I added this one myself, and I was dabbling with ancient debris mining for a little bit, though I don't really do it on stream. If you guys do ancient debris mining, I would suggest getting this one because it makes the ancient debris much more prominent. It stands out so much more, and it makes it blue. One of my favorite colors. So moving forward, the next is gonna be better no fire overlay, and what this one does is it's pretty straightforward. If you guys jump into lava, or you get hit by fire, you will have that fire overlay on your screen, and it's super annoying. So what this resource pack does is it pretty much removes it, so you no longer see fire on the screen. Moving forward, the next one that we have is going to be a shader kind of fixer. So right now, if you guys are currently using shaders and you guys don't have this, you guys will pretty much see your armor textures to look a little stringy. Now that I have the resource pack installed, this one's actually made by Midway, so huge shout out to him. I don't know how he did it. He's a genius. He is a helper on the Lotus server, and he's such a nice guy for this. But pretty much it fixes the armor textures, so huge shout out to him. This is pretty important if you are using shaders and you are tired of that stringy look for armor textures. Midway really came through with this, and this one you can't really find online. It's a bit more particular to install. What you'll need to do is you need to navigate over to the BlossomCraft Discord, look at the creative channels, I believe, and then look for Midway's post where he actually uploaded the resource pack, which you can just install. So he'll have a whole tutorial on how to install his resource pack, and if you have any questions, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer all of them. So that one is pretty crucial, and I highly endorse this one. Moving forward, it's gonna be no break particles, and this one is also pretty straightforward too. It pretty much just removes all those particles all up in your face when you are mining. So when you're mining, especially at a high speed, there's gonna be all these particles, and what you can do is like it can pretty much make you miss some ores, because when you're mining this quickly, it just flies all over the place. So having this resource pack allows me to just see so much better in the mines, and I would honestly, I would not be able to mine without it. So I highly also recommend this one. Huge quality of life, and it actually might even save you a couple of frames too, because your game is now no longer rendering those particles, right? So yeah, that's a pretty good one. Let's see what's next here, and it looks like everything else that we have installed after no break particles is all installed from the Performium mod pack. So these ones I didn't add myself, so I can't really endorse these. These just come with it. So yeah, that kind of concludes the resource pack so we currently use on BlossomCraft. And now let's move forward to the last category, which is going to be shader packs. So what shader pack am I currently using right now? I'm currently using BSL. Now, I am running an RTX 4070 Super plus an i7 14700K. In nerd terms or tech terms, it's a pretty solid computer. I mean, it's pretty powerful, and honestly, if your computer is more on the older side, I wouldn't recommend using BSL. It is quite demanding. So if you guys would like to give it a shot, this one's actually asked about quite often. People are always like, "Hey, Leo, your game looks beautiful. What shaders are you using?" I don't think many players with older computers or like even like running on laptops can use BSL. It's quite demanding, as you can see. And what settings am I running it on? I'm currently running it on minimum. So I'm actually running on the lowest setting, and it already looks amazing. So, I mean, if you wanted to test it out, go for it. See if your computer can handle it. But if you are dipping below like anything under 60 frames with your BSL shaders at minimum, I highly would advise you to not use BSL. Even if it looks beautiful, the gameplay is going to be atrocious. Now, what shaders would I personally recommend if you can't run BSL? I think complementary reimagine is pretty good. So let's actually go ahead and apply that one, and let's see what it looks like in comparison to BSL if my game doesn't crash here. There we go. So it doesn't look too bad. I actually like using complementary reimagine sometimes. It's not too demanding, and I think I have this at potato settings. Let's take a look. Yeah, I have it set at potato settings. So it's on the lowest setting here, and though it's not as like that RTX looking shader, you know, like the classic. When people say shader packs, I think when people think of shader packs, they think of BSL. This one is a bit more just vibrant. We can compare this to normal. This is what vanilla looks like, and it's a bit yellow, and it looks okay. And then when you turn on complementary reimagine, it kind of gives it more of a cooler look, I guess. It's not bad. Sometimes I do switch to this if I'm just if it's really hot in my room and I don't want to run BSL, like especially during the summer. I was using complementary for the longest time, but now with the fall season kind of coming around, I am now using BSL. It's kind of funny because the seasons determine which shaders I use. It's kind of hilarious. And moving forward to the last thing that I want to talk about, and that kind of wraps things up with shader packs. But one thing about the Performium mod that's really cool is that you can actually install mods and browse mods within the shader pack settings. So I can actually install a mod, for example. Let's I already have that one. I don't think I have this one, complementary shaders, another version. I can just install it, and just like that, it's right here. So I now have Reimagine, now I have Unbound. So it's super cool. Maybe this might be another selling point for you to use Prism, but if not, then best of luck. I think that kind of concludes pretty much everything about the video. We went over our mods, we went over our resource packs, and we went over our shader packs. So that concludes everything, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button if you guys found it informative, and subscribe for more BlossomCraft content. I am Leo, also known as LeooKnightus, and I've been a creator for the BlossomCraft server for the past 3 years. So if you guys wanted to come out to the streams, we stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:30 PST in the morning, 10 a.m. PST in the morning. So come on out if you guys have any questions whatsoever. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.